I'm about as real as they come.
All my beats tailored by Joe. House Digital.
Maserati, Rick in Detroit. Convertible bird in Miami. Graduated summa cum laude. Strip club made a tsunami. Carlton Hines with the ball game. Grateful Edmonds with the snowflakes. Craig Pettis in the M-Town. Sal Magluta with the boat game. Falcone with the cocaine. Like Freeway Ricky with the plug game. Like Monster Cody in South Central. Larry Davis from close range.
Inside this new bombshell court filing, former Grosse Pointe Woods CEO Marty Tibbetts allegedly involved in an international drug trafficking ring. According to court documents, Tibbetts allegedly helped finance a ring being run by this man, Ylli Didani, wiring more than $1 million to allegedly fund the ring, which spanned from South America to Southern Europe. Investigators say they tracked Didani over several years, dating back to 2015. Photos of Didani with weapons, another showing a duffel bag believed to be full of South American cocaine, and another showing piles of money meant for laundering with an address in Fraser. Tibbetts was the CEO of Clementine Live Answering Services in Harper Woods until his sudden death in 2018.
Right now at 6, we now know who was killed in the plane that crashed into a Sheboygan County farm on takeoff. The pilot and only person on board was 50-year-old Marty Tibbetts from Michigan. As Brandon Rook shows us, he was well known in the vintage aircraft industry.
Yeah, Katie, the pilot left flowers where his airplane was last parked. They say that he owned a heritage airplane museum in Pontiac, Michigan. This tribute is a tradition pilots say is done when someone dies in an airplane. Tibbetts was killed on impact when he hit the Fly-By Acres dairy farm yesterday afternoon.
New information tonight about an international cocaine trafficking operation being run out of Metro Detroit. In the mix, a now dead Grosse Pointe CEO and an alleged drug kingpin accused by the feds of trying to engineer a cocaine submarine to move drugs around the world. Mara McDonald live at the federal courthouse downtown. It's been a wild case since we first learned about it, and now, Mara, a grand jury with an indictment.
Devin, I know the details of this case sound absolutely fantastical to people, but they are all detailed in federal court documents that actually read like a thriller. Let me show you. 43-year-old Ylli Didani is accused of running an international drug trafficking operation, indicted by a grand jury. Here's the tale of the accused drug kingpin and now deceased Grosse Pointe CEO Marty Tibbetts. The feds allege Didani was moving cocaine through Michigan to points across the globe, and he conspired with Tibbetts to craft a cocaine submarine nicknamed the Torpedo, which would affix itself to the bottom of container ships with magnets and be controlled by a modem and GPS antenna. On board the Torpedo, large quantities of cocaine. When those container ships would reach Europe, the cocaine sub would disengage and then be picked up by a fishing boat controlled by Didani's organization. Tonight, Didani has been indicted by a federal grand jury. Tibbetts died 2 years ago in a plane crash in Wisconsin. Acting U.S. Attorney Simon Mosin saying in a statement tonight, quote, "This is a very significant and important prosecution of a large-scale, well-organized drug trafficking organization involved in the distribution of thousands of kilograms of cocaine worth tens of millions of dollars across multiple continents." Back here live, the latest we're getting out of the feds as far as what they've intercepted from Didani's organization. They put it at about 3,400 kilos with a street value of around $100 million. We're live at the federal courthouse in downtown Detroit tonight. I'm Mara McDonald, Local 4.
Yo, we back. It's your boy Popalot. Mobb ties. We on our way to Detroit with it. But we gonna make stops in Charlotte, North Carolina. But we flew all the way over here from Albania first class. So if y'all in any of them spots that we mentioned, y'all get in the comment box. Y'all know how we run it. It's your boy Pop. Now, today the guy that we're gonna be covering is gonna be a guy by the name of Ylli Didani. But you cannot mention Ylli Didani without mentioning a guy by the name of Marty Tibbetts. Now, a little bit about Marty Tibbetts. He is going to be a CEO and businessman, pretty much the owner of a company by the name of Clementine Live Answering Services, and that is going to be in the Detroit area. And as far as how he linked up with Ylli Didani, that's going to be up for anybody to decide or to guess at. How about that? But the probe or the indictment leading into Mr. Didani being arrested and the late Mr. Tibbetts being pretty much mentioned as an unidentified co-conspirator, that it pretty much began in January of 2015 when DEA agents set their sights on a trafficking ring that was led by Didani. Customs and Border Patrol intercepted Didani 6 months later when he arrived at Chicago's O'Hare International Airport from Albania, according to the complaint that was unsealed. Now, Didani told the CBP that he was visiting family and friends in the United States, and he planned to return to Albania in about a month to keep running his coal business. Now, the CBP agents searched his iPhone, and they found photos of him with stacks of rubber-banded U.S. currency. So he was flogging them bands. And he was also seen with assault rifles and semi-automatic handguns. So that, once you get on the radar, man, they going through your phone at the airport. That shit is just wow. I'm like, what? I mean, he gave him the passcode? But after that unfortunate event, the next time he flew into Chicago, he tried the switcheroozy on him. This time he flew from Rome, and this was in August of 2016, and he was allegedly found to be carrying 7 vials of human growth hormone. So that's like the shit that the niggas be using, I guess, in baseball, hit them fucking home runs and shit like that, or like the strike niggas out, however. But needless to say, it's illegal in the United States. His phone allegedly showed more photos of him with the bands. 2 of those photos were geotagged, and they showed they were taken in an apartment in Macomb County, Michigan. So they not only going through the photos, they going through the geotags like a baby mama. God damn it, yo. What the hell? You busted, yo. Now they noticed that apartment, because they got it down to a science too. Yeah, this was here, that apartment was being rented by a certain co-conspirator. Now, and the messages that was exchanged on the Viber app, so most people get off the iMessage, most people don't FaceTime, most people like, yo, download this app. And I remember Viber from back in the days, man. Now, let's just say I had a little run with that damn joint, y'all. Well, shout out to my WhatsApp niggas and all of them. Oh, y'all, that's you know how we rocking. But prosecutors gonna say that Didani and the co-conspirator who used the name Dan talked about selling bulk cocaine, illegally moving money, creating fraudulent passports, and receiving packages via FedEx. Now, get with Marty ASAP. Didani allegedly messaged to Dan in July of 2016. Apparently he was referencing the late Marty Tibbetts. Now, Didani followed up with a screenshot of a conversation about finding someone to help discreetly move 100 million euros from a Dutch bank location in Frankfurt, Germany to Dubai. Now, Tibbetts, meanwhile, was allegedly funding much of the trafficking operation. Now, in 2016 and 2017, prosecutors would say that Dan cashed $864,000 from Tibbetts in cashier and personal checks, and many of those were cashed at like pawn shops and jewelry exchange businesses. So like just some shady shit. He wasn't going to Walmart. He wasn't going to none of that shit. So now after he cashed the last check, Dan flew on Tibbetts' private plane to Washington, D.C., according to the complaint. And there Tibbetts gave Didani the money that he had gotten from the cash checks and also wired more than $1.8 million to accounts in Albania. Now, in August of 2017, Tibbetts allegedly went to Tirana, Albania for a few days. When he returned, prosecutors say that he received 2 packages from Didani. One identified as containing computer and personal items, and the other that said to have cards and papers in them. Now, the complaint also says that the package were reminiscent of drug traffickers' tendencies to mail electronics instead of traveling with them, so that the devices could not be searched at international borders. Ding. If y'all ain't paying attention to anything, that was probably the most important thing I said, but let me proceed. Now, while financing the drug trafficking ring's purchase of cocaine in South America, prosecutors say Tibbetts also worked with Didani in creating an underwater drone known as the Torpedo. That would be remotely controlled with magnets that would attach to the bottom of cargo ships. Now, the operator would later detach the drone and set a GPS signal with its location. Then prosecutors allege the trafficking ring would send a fishing boat to meet the submarine about 100 miles off the coast of Europe and collect the cocaine. Now, using the alias Dale Johnson, Tibbetts paid more than $12,000 in money orders, cryptocurrency deposits, and wire transfers from an Albanian bank to an unidentified company that he had hired to design the drone and to create the prototype for this drone that they were looking to ship drugs all across the world with. Now, investigators also say they found computerized drawings and hand sketches of the model. Now, when Tibbetts was killed in 2018, in Wisconsin, prosecutors going to say communication between Dale Johnson and the company that was supposedly alleged to design this submarine ceased. So, putting 2 and 2 together, they had indicted my man Didani, and they also semi-indicted Marty Tibbetts by mentioning him as a co-conspirator. They didn't say his name, but they mentioned his address. And if y'all don't do anything off this episode, search Marty Tibbetts' house. Damn, need me one. Well, y'all know what it is, man. It's your boy Popalot. We gonna be back with some more real trill spill shit. Y'all already know. Y'all hit the bell to subscribe so y'all know when this is coming. Y'all get in the comment box below. Let me know where we haven't been, because I'm traveling. I'm out here. We outside. And let us know who we need to cover if it's anybody we missed. We got some big episodes coming, so y'all stay tuned. And y'all already know what it is. The Mobb. Mobb. Ties.